Out of the debris along the Clyde, they have seized the chance to start again. Ferguson's was saved from closure last year. The last commercial shipyard left along the river that was once synonymous with both shipbuilding and socialism. It was in these yards in years gone by the labour movement was born. These men have kept their jobs, but many have lost faith in a party that was once their natural home. Is this still strong Labour Party territory along the Clyde?
No. I don't think so. I think Labour's finished. SNP.
Labour are just shooting themselves in the foot every time. They should be going after the Tories, not the SNP, and that's where they lost it in Scotland.
Before the general election, every constituency that touches the Clyde was Labour, had been for decades. Now, every single one of them is SNP. And the challenge for the next Scottish leader is to win back seats like these, where voters feel the Labour Party has been taking them for granted for far too long. Senior party figures admit Scottish Labour has been complacent and entitled. Major change is now required, maybe even an entirely separate party in Scotland.
I believe we should have complete autonomy. Now, if that's independence, that's independence. I think it would be beneficial for us to be the voice of Scotland. You can't do that if you're mixing it on an agenda with English voters.
The two candidates for leader are delivering very similar messages. They have both ruled out a separate Scottish party. They aren't really on the left or right of each other. Their differences are more about style than substance.
I want us to be less partisan, less tribal. I want us to be more open, more cooperative. That doesn't mean not critical of the SNP. It just means not blaming the SNP for everything and sounding as if we're in it because we hate the SNP. We're in it to change people's lives.
I knock on dozens of doors where people tell me that they don't know what the Labour Party stands for anymore. So my first job is to explain why I'm Labour.
It's not really a policy though, is it?
You don't need policies. We had 160 policies during the general election in our manifesto and people didn't know what we were for. People need to know first and foremost what the Labour Party is about. I'm going to focus on that.
Will that be enough to catch voters' attention along the Clyde and across the country? Scottish Labour have tried before to solve their problems by changing the leader. They have been through 7 in 15 years. The 8th now faces a tougher challenge than any of their predecessors. Sarah Smith, BBC News, on the River Clyde.